Hey everybody, it's Jesse here with SCG Hobby, and I've got Ben with me, and today we are doing a exhibition match, and it is myself playing Boros Burn, and Nick playing Mono Green Control, which I think it's got another tagline for a name there.
Also called Poland, which is a reference I don't get.
I also heard that it's four-color Mono Green Control because it plays everything but blue. But we'll see what some of these the splash colors are for this deck. But as you can see, we're going to start out here with Arbor Elf, Llanowar Elf, and another Arbor Elf.
That's a whole 5 mana turn 2.
Yeah, that's a lot. He has access to up to 6 mana for this next turn, and that's not even counting if he's going to Utopia Sprawl anything. But I'm going to start out here and just get a Rift Bolt. He's going to go to 17. I'm at 19 because that Arbor Elf didn't tap for mana. That hit me for 1. It's kind of one of the unseen modes from Arbor Elf. But despite him playing all these cheap-costed cards, I do choose to play this Eidolon, which, if you look, it doesn't seem like it's going to be very good since he already has access to all this mana, including access to that
Wonvuli Acid Moss,
Yeah.
which is going to do some real work here.
Yeah, I mean, setting me back on lands, it's not crazy for burn, but something of note, there's a lot of 2-drops for burn. You got Lightning Helix, Skullcrack, Searing Blaze, a lot of those, and being stuck on 1 mana with my own Eidolon is pretty taxing.
Doesn't burn really curve out at 3?
Yeah, once you get to three mana, you're double spelling each turn, potentially triple spelling. It's where it puts out a lot of damage. As you can see, I'm just casting Rift Bolts, the first couple turns of this game, and it's kind of slow. And Nick's sitting over there, and he's got, what now, 8 mana? So he can really set up a nice clock here, some real haymakers, which I think we're going to see one of them here, which is Roaring Primadox, which are you familiar, Ben?
No. What does this thing do?
This thing is a real beater here. He's a 4-mana 4/4, which at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to return a creature you control to your hand. It's actually part of a soft lock for the deck, which is Eternal Witness, and I believe it's Primal Command, which is, it gains some life, it searches for a creature, it puts a permanent on top of the deck. I mean, it does a lot of things.
It slices,
here.
it dices.
It does. It's efficient. It's what was said before. It's like the Mystic Sanctuary lock, but in green.
Yeah, it's the underdog of the soft locks here in Modern.
You could actually say, because like Nick says, he does play a 4-color mono green control, that it's just like the other 4-color decks where it has its lock of Mystic Sanctuary, except his lock features Roaring Primadox, 4-mana 4/4 staple of the format. But back in the actual game here, I'm going to bolt him on end step. I'm going to take some damage, and he's down to 9, I believe, and I'm down to 8. So, it's getting kind of close here. We're both down to 6, and if I have 2 1-drop bolt effects, then I'm just able to clear out this game. But it looks like my hand is Lava Spike, Swift Spear, and Lightning Helix, so we're a little short. But I'm going to attack with the Eidolon. He chooses to chump. That's not the end of the world. But that little extra damage there allows me to potentially figure out what my next line of play is. Because right now, I'm not sure how I'm going to kind of close out this game right now. That 4/4 is a very intimidating clock for burn.
If you want that thing gone, you got a 2-for-1 yourself.
Yeah, Searing Blaze can't kill it off, and pointing burn spells isn't very good for the deck. As you can see, he's going to beast within his own land to make a 3/3 just to try to close out this game, and I'm tanking here if I want to waste this Lightning Helix just to try to clear up the board. I'm doing some math there. And I'm not very good at it, but I think the play here is to clear off this 3/3 token. I am going to net 1 life out of it because of the Eidolon, drop down the 4, go to 7, but I need to just kind of not die and or lock myself out of spells. So he ends up having to bounce that elf, and he's tanking on whether he wants to attack or not. He has a lot of cards in hand, but I think he just drew a Utopia Sprawl.
That's not going to do a whole lot here.
Yeah, he's
got
really...
this Eidolon, taking him down to 2 doesn't seem like a wise decision just for a Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah, he ends up not attacking. He's really looking for something like Primal Command to just try to gain some life and close out this game. But we get a draw spell. Going to go Swift Spear, take myself to 5, and then cast the Lava Spike, and he just doesn't have enough blockers to deal with the damage on board, and that looks like it's going to be it for game 1. So, kind of a awkward start for the burn deck, and a very aggressive start from a 4-color mono green control Poland. But the issue with it is that he just couldn't get to any of the top end, so that's a little bit little bit troubling. But we're going to go to the sideboard now, and Nick, this is where we're really going to see some of the things that this deck can do. Now, looking at the sideboard, what do you like here, Ben?
I like this Rorik Thar. It seems like that could put in some real work. He's beefy, so
He is
that
beefy.
boy's going to be hard to remove. You got these Obstinate Baloths. Those things seem pretty good.
Now, Baloth, it is just a 4-mana 4/4, but as we noted earlier, 4-mana 4/4s against burn are actually pretty threatening.
It's essentially gaining 6 life since they have to spend mana to get that thing off the board with their burn spells.
Well, it could be more because I mean, if we're aiming even one Searing Blaze but another bolt at it, I mean that's like a gain 7. When you look at it.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of like that Rorik Thar. It's really hard to remove. It's a 6/6. If he could ramp it out there, like that first game, he could have got it out on turn 3. A turn 3 Rorik Thar, I think that's like a game over. Maybe these fire spouts, they seem like they could clean up a lot of the small guys, but I'm not really sure. What do you think about that?
Fire Spout has potential. I think a lot of damage from burn comes from the repeatable damage from its creatures.
Yeah, I think the only issue with Fire Spout is if they end up drawing a heavy spell hand, but I do agree. I think between Goblin Guide potentially hitting for 4, Eidolon hitting for more, I mean, it could be a very threatening card for the burn deck. Looking at my sideboard, there's some different options here, but I don't want a whole ton here for this matchup. I think I bored in the Roiling Vortex, and that was really it. I didn't really feel like there was anything worth doing other than trying to cut him off of life gain. What do you think, Ben? Is there anything that I missed here?
Path to Exile has some potential, but might dilute your deck a bit much. What do you think of that?
I think that I believe I did not board in the paths, and I believe the reasoning for that is exactly what you said. The burn deck is just trying to, it's trying to just have velocity. We want to just take, the less amount of cards possible to deal the most amount of damage. And the issue that I think Path does is that's one less card that's dealing at least 2 to 3 damage. And the deck's not doing something like Infect, where if you play something on one, I really want to be able to deal with it, or like I don't think it really hits Neo Brand, but you get what I'm saying. He doesn't have anything that I need to answer immediately. His going for a little bit of a long game, hence the 4-color control tag name. But we're gonna get into this game too. I believe we're resolving mulligans here, and let's see what it can do. I am interested in the deck. What all colors? So we got white for probably Kitchen Finks.
Right, we got red for probably like Kessig Wolf Run.
Oh, Kessig Wolf Run, yeah, that's a good one. And we did see in the sideboard there are some sideboard red cards.
Like Rorik Thar and Fire Spout, of course.
We also, not to mention this Chandra Awakened Inferno, which I don't think that's coming in here, but it's pretty hot.
Or this Dismember, which also most likely is not coming in here.
Yeah, 6 damage to kill an Eidolon doesn't seem exactly like what you want to be doing.
That is not cash money.
No, not cash money. No blue, I'm guessing, though, so no Uro.
The one deck that isn't an Uro pile.
Yeah, we'll get there, though. But to get into the games, we have a Utopia Sprawl on 1 for Nick, and I play a Goblin Guide, hitting him for 2. He's going to play Llanowar Elves into another Utopia Sprawl, so he has a ton of mana going this next turn. I think once again he has access to 5 mana on.
Very strong start for 4-color control Poland.
Yeah, it's very quick, but I do end up having a Searing Blaze. Very key card, I believe, in this matchup to pick off these early elves. But something of note, even though I'm picking off an elf, he still has potentially 5 mana if he has an untapped land. Draws Sheltered Thicket off of that Goblin Guide, but it's not going to come in untapped. So 4 mana, is this a Baloth? It looks like a Primal Command in hand, but it's going to go... Sorry, go ahead.
Also looks like he has a Thragtusk in hand, which if that land was untapped, that would have been pretty sweet, other than this Ewit into Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, I think because being tapped down, he doesn't have to worry about Skullcrack, but it looks like his hand's just 5 drops. So that land being a tap land is kind of a big deal for that turn. But I'm going to swing with this Goblin Guide, reveal a Forest, and he will elect to trade. But it's 15 to 19. It looks like 5 cards in hand there. A lot of burn. And what is this? Looks like a Lava Spike will be cast, and that'll take him down to 12. So very aggressive start here. Nick will untap. He has access to any of these 5 drops. I believe it's Acidic Slime. There's a Thragtusk, and I know that there was a Primal Command, which is what we saw there. So he's counting. He has access to 7, if I'm correct. 7.
Six.
Yeah, well, there's a Utopia Sprawl under that top forest, I believe. So it looks like that's 7. So
That is indeed 7, yes.
yeah, so he's doing some math here. Oh, he has a kitchen thing. So if he had 8 mana, he could go and double spell. The threat of Skullcrack here is huge, though. So 3 mana, and he's tanking on if he wants to play that kitchen thing. So I think he's worried
Here
about
it
the
comes.
Skullcrack. Yeah. Oh yeah, this doesn't look. This looks like it could be the Skullcrack here. So if this is he won't be able to gain that life then, and he'll go to 7. So we're looking at like another burn spell and maybe a Boros Charm.
But even with the Skullcrack, he has the potential to trade with something and still gain life from that Kitchen Finks.
Yeah, it does remove the access of Goblin Guide or Swift Spear to try to, do anything there. But yeah, so he's gonna attack me, take me down to 16, I believe, and he's at 7. So is that a Boros Charm in hand? It looks like, yeah, it's Boros Charm in. So that's 7 points of damage, and unfortunately that's going to be Look at that,
all
that's
that
all
life
5
gain.
drops.
Oh.
Yeah.
This has been Team SCG Hobby. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.